Let's start. Hello, everyone. I hope you all had a good week and are ready to have a productive weekend with us. If there are new participants, I would like to introduce me. I'm Ala, a project officer at Digital Communication Network. Welcome to Digital Media Literacy Training course. The program is organized in partnership with World Learning and Friedrich Naumann Foundation for Freedom South Caucasus. It is my pleasure to meet you all here. You can feel free to contact me if you have any questions. Arena and Teona are the moderators of the project, and they are contact persons for you. I would like to give the floor to Aren and Teona.
Thank you, Aaron, for always. So, hi everyone. It's good to see you again. I am Teona. I am one of the moderators with Aaron. I will be here for this whole time, not just today, for the whole course, in case you have any difficulties for Georgian participants for language barriers, but for everyone, in case you would like to, I don't know, if you have some things you want to share, discuss, whatever, like I will be here and I will try my best to help you out. And there's also Aaron, and I will give floor to Aaron.
Thank you, Tona. Good morning, everyone. Yeah, I'll be here, and you know that I'm here for the rest of the week too. So whatever bothers you or you want to share, you can just write me. I think I shared with you my LinkedIn profile, but I'm not sure that's the best platform to keep in touch. So maybe I'll share my messenger too with you, internal chat. So if you think that I can help you somehow, then I'm definitely here. I won't take much time from today's training because I'm sure it's going to be very interesting. And today our speaker is Mr. Aribowo Sasmito. He's a fact check specialist, and the rest about himself, he'll be more specific, I'm sure. Have a nice time.
Thank you, Aaron. Good day in Jakarta, Indonesia time, everyone. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever it is that you currently in time zone you are. Hopefully everyone stay healthy during this pan or infodemic time. As we know, even one of the participants is currently having the COVID. Hopefully everyone who's not feeling well will get back to normal as soon as possible. Okay, let me start the presentation. Which one is it? For the next 3 hours, I'll be sharing about the developing a comprehensive strategy to combat disinformation. Maybe to make it more comfortable, I think it is better to every 1 hour you remind me so we can I don't know, 10 minutes or 15 minutes break maybe, or maybe 5 minutes. So please later, every 1 hour, please remind me so we can, just relax our body and maybe get up from our chair and then, so we can relax, taking a coffee, maybe take a drink or having a snack. Okay, I'll continue then. But before we start, I would like you to understand that this is I am the co-founder and fact-check specialist from Mavindo, Indonesian Anti-Hoax Community, and this is one of our volunteer public campaign activity. Of course, this is before the pandemic. She's holding a poster that said that hoax can cause a war. You just haven't realized it yet. So there might be those who's asking that there is an exaggeration that's exaggerated. Some some may be also thinking that seriously it can be that bad because is it really is possible that uh, a war can be started by misinformation or hoax? Unfortunately, that is true. This is one of the example. This was in 2016 when the Prime Minister of Pakistan, if you think about it, it is normal for regular people, everyone, to make mistake of sharing false information, but this is actually a prime minister. So the question would be, what is it that people around him doing? Why do they don't remind them that this is coming from a non valid or authoritative source? But it actually happened that back then in 2016, the prime minister of Pakistan is actually threatening Israel on doing nuclear war. As we know, both countries, they have a nuclear warhead, and it will be uh, it will be really really unfortunate because these days the nuclear warhead is really different from nuclear warhead that explode decades ago in Hiroshima and Nagasaki in Japan. It takes just single nuclear warhead to explode to have causing damage to the entire planet. So luckily in 2016, the misinformation did not actually start a nuclear war, because again, if there's only one nuclear warhead explode, then the effect will be devastating uh, every country in the planet, in Earth. And this is last year in 2020. This is conflict between India versus Nepal. Shortly after jet shot down by the Indian Air Force. Sorry, this is Indian Air Force jet shot down by the Nepal. Not long after, pictures start to emerge, start to distribute, start to spread in the internet. Pictures of crashed airplane, bleeding pilots, and those kind of pictures start to emerge, and people sharing this, whether it's in Twitter and Facebook or other social media, and likely also in WhatsApp group, because in India WhatsApp is really popular, just like in Indonesia. The fact is, this image is actually coming not from India, not from Nepal, but actually coming from Libya, which is unrelated to the conflict. This is just a picture of plane crash. This is also last year. This is related to the pan, or the pan dash or slash infodemic. Uh, Back then, there was misinformation saying that no matter how doesn't make sense it is, there are those who actually believe it. There are misinformation saying that 5G is spreading COVID-19 because in Africa they don't have 5G yet, and there isn't any COVID-19 spreading in Africa. But the fact is, there are the COVID-19 is also spreading in Africa, whether there's a 5G or not, because uh, normal people would actually think that COVID is a bacteria. It is an organism. It's not possible for electromagnetic wave to be able to be used for spreading virus. But again, there are those who actually believe it, and also there are those who actually triggered when people spreading narratives saying that if there is an 5G mast or 5G poles near your neighborhood, burn it down right away so it doesn't get you coronavirus or the COVID-19. Unfortunately, there are those who actually believe it, and in Birmingham in UK, it's not just one, it's not just 10 or 20, but 53 5G masts are actually burned because there are those who believe that the 5G waves is able to spread COVID-19. Of course, this is just a conspiracy theory. The problem is, it doesn't just cause structural or physical damage, but it's actually causing triggering people or doing a physical harassment. these telecommunication worker are actually just doing their job. They are fixing or making your installation of underground cables, and there's actually a lady that walks over to them holding her phone and actually ask this gentleman saying that, did you not know that because of your work, your family, your parents are actually can be contracted by the COVID-19 virus. Again, this actually has caused not just structural damage of the 5G masts, 53 5G masts, by the way, but actually caused physical harassment. And of course, this is last but not least the infodemic, the large or too many amount of false and correct information related to the pandemic that actually has confused people of distinguishing or telling the difference between which information is correct and which information is not correct. uh, Infodemics is actually equally or maybe even more dangerous than the pandemic, which is the COVID-19 itself. So there's pandemic, there's the virus, and there's infodemic. A lot of misinformation, hoax, conspiracy theories. Uh, Please do note that not all examples are conventional war, in terms of bullets, bombs, rockets, missiles, dynamites, explosions, and other type of conventional weapons related type of war. But this is you can in a way consider this as a digital war. uh, but even if this is not a conventional war, this actually has caused real world harm. Now, for starting fact checker, usually people asking how or where to start. There are several steps that you can take. The first one would be the most basic one. This is something that everyone have. It's the gut feeling. Uh, the picture actually describing that there's a mouse trap with the bait saying that free lunch. So basically, if it's too good, or you can actually flip it to the other side. If it's too good or too bad to be true, then most likely it's not true. For example, there was that time when I forgot what year it is. I think this was in 2019. There was a 5 hours live video of. Unfortunately, I cannot take a screen capture with the video, but this is actually the video of 4 hours of a live Facebook session with rotating planet and a nebula with some kind of explosion sound. But when you took, but when you observe it, but first let's go to the other aspect. The problem is that there are a lot of engagement in this live Facebook session. I'm seeing at during when I take the screenshot, that time it was 24,000 shares with 20,000 comments, mixing a combination of people who's laughing at this post, commenting this is impossible, uh, but there are also those who believe it and mentioning their friends by saying that please take a look at outside, is it the same view around your neighborhood? A lot of comments. It's a combination, it's a mix between those who don't believe it and those who's laughing about it, and other type of engagement. But again, this type of engagement actually will be able to make the account to be considered as a what do you call it, as a important account, as an expensive quote unquote account, because there are a lot of interaction and engagement in this live session. But when I take a look at it, it actually is just 4 hours of live video, which made of 21-second video being looped. So basically, this person is making 4 hours of 21-second video and then publish it in Facebook Live. Now, this is too bad to be true, of course, because if it's true, then it is unlikely that anyone will be able to making this live Facebook, because I highly doubt that will still be alive, because this type of event will actually cause destruction to well, basically it's the end of the world, because the gravity of the planet and this nebula is really big, so it actually cause destruction to the Earth. Again, this is basically too bad to be true. The second one, this is the basics of information, the 5W1H, or commonly called 5W. This is something that people are usually miss whenever they see original or non-edited, non-altered photo or video. But the twisting, the false information is in the narrative. So this is actually, these days we really have to understand that even if we see a non-altered or original photos or videos, when we see them, we actually have to understand to check the narrative and focus on the context, because even though back then because picture and maybe also video, pictures and videos are speaking of thousands of words. And if back then there's this expression saying that seeing is believing, then these days seeing is not always believing, again because we have to actually understand the context of the photo or video that we are looking at. And the third one, critical thinking. This is something that unfortunately there's this expression in Indonesia, the country where I come from, saying that the person that holding the smartphone is not as smart as the smartphone. So the more advanced, the more advanced technology, the more everything instant and global these days, people are actually become more and more lacking of critical thinking, because they are easily trick and manipulate it using visual, because visual are engaging. So whenever they see original picture or video and the occurrence on the event actually happen, they just believe it right away and share it. But they forgot to be more detailed, to be more concerned about the context of the picture and the video and the event that uh, contains in the claim. The fourth one would be to understand definitions and standards. Hoax is basically falsehood deliberately fabricated to masquerade as the truth. And then, according to First Draft News, there are three types of information disorder being categorized based on its falseness and its intention to harm. The first one is the misinformation. Misinformation is false or inaccurate information with no intention to deceive. Disinformation is false or misleading information spread deliberately to deceive. So the difference between misinformation and disinformation is the intention. You know, people are misinformation usually happen when people believe that it's true, and they have no intention on deceiving by spreading it because they believe that it's true. They do not know that it is false. But for disinformation, people who actually know it is false, they deliberately spreading it. And the last one is the malinformation. This is the deliberately publishing private information. Usually it's not too far away from online bullying and doxing. And fake news, this is a term that actually globally quite popular, started in the United States. Fake news is untrue information presented as news. And fact checking is the process of verifying information in order to determine its veracity and correctness. And besides of misinformation, malinformation, and disinformation, there are other more detailed type of misinformation and disinformation also by First Draft News. Uh, this category has advantage and disadvantage. The advantage, the advantage would be it helps for fact checkers and journalists to move away from the intention zone. You know, I mean, and misinformation and disinformation is basically quote unquote within intention zone. Nobody really know except those who are making the misinformation or disinformation. You know, this is something that only the person that doing it. Actually, no one else know. And the disadvantage is that this category is actually more detailed and more technical. Therefore, general public will see this as something that looks complicated, but actually it's not really complicated once you get used to it. I'll be explaining this using example cases, which should make it easier for us to be able to understand it. The first one, the satire or parody, it has no intention to cause harm, but it actually has potential to fool. This is spreading in Indonesia's social media back then. It is a picture, actually a video. It's a Facebook page called Mosaic Karim. They're spreading a video using the narrative. It's originally in Bahasa Indonesia, but I translated in English. The translation saying that, oh dear God, this youngster is having TikTok syndrome, can't control his body movement caused by playing TikTok too much. Now, we do know that TikTok is currently the most popular social media whenever people sharing their dancing video. But it actually, it's coming from an Instagram post. The original creator clearly have written his description saying that this is sarcastic comedy, and also he's adding warning, this is sensitive content, he said that. But unfortunately this was taken by the re-uploader, the what was the name, the Mosaic Karim page. They actually take the video and remove the complete description, and basically what they're doing is taking the video out of its original context. Now, if you illustrate it, this is what it looks like. The warning was actually taken away, so people are actually thinking that this person is seriously having TikTok syndrome. And also do check the number of the comments and share. Some of them are the youngsters who understand that this video is for joking, this video is sarcastic video, but there are also those, especially older generation, our uncle and aunties, or even our parents, who's warning by mentioning whether it's their son or daughter or their nephew or their younger generation, saying that this is the proof of the video. This is a TikTok syndrome. This is what happened if you're playing TikTok too much. But again, there are youngsters who actually laugh about this, and they mention their friend that this guy is funny, something like that. But again, this is basically a comedy, a sarcastic comedy video who's taken out of context. The closest syndrome, it's called Tourette syndrome. It is also widely known because Tourette syndrome made sudden uncontrollable movement or sound, which is called tics. When I made this fact check article, I remember that many years ago I watched these movies. It's the title of the movie is The Front of the Class. It was in 2008. 2008. It is inspired by true story of Tourette syndrome victim. So in 2020 also, Fred Cohen, the one that actually become the victim of the syndrome, the Tourette syndrome, is being invited by the Oprah Winfrey. So I'm taking this as an evidence, as a proof, and then to show the public in my fact check article that the closest to what is so-called the TikTok syndrome is the Tourette syndrome. So the fact is there are no such thing called TikTok syndrome. The closest description to the video is the Tourette syndrome. But again, the original context of the video is actually it was a sarcastic. It's for entertainment. It's for joking purpose. The second type from the 7 types of mis and disinformation. This is the misleading content, which is the misleading use of information to frame an issue or individual. There was a Facebook comment. This is not even a status or a post. This is a Facebook comment. This account, her account name is Ipa Latifa, saying that according to an Islamic tablet magazine, which is the name is Pakam, the ingredients of vaccine is from swine blood, monkey extract, blood of prostitute, blood of inmates, combined as vaccine. The objective is to destroy Islam generation. Jewish strategy to destroy Islam generation to weaken child's mind. Therefore, I don't allow my child yesterday at school for immunization. There are a lot of claim that doesn't make sense. This is normally the response from normal people. This is a meme coming from Japanese popular show Takeshi Castle. So one of the dialogue that is often appear in the video would be the what do you call it? This is the assistant. This one is the king. The assistant often saying that while he's laughing, haha, so stupid, Your Honor. So this is basically is the reaction from normal people because again this claim is really a lot of it's the claim contains a lot of false information and it is too too wild and too bombastic. Now the problem is these claims it's using the religion as a narrative or claim to trigger emotional response. What type of emotional? Specifically, it is the anger, it is the fear, or the combination of both. This emotional reaction has caused, this emotional trigger actually has caused irrational response. So no matter how normal people laugh about this, whenever you use religion to trigger the emotional response from people, especially people who's not willing to do the fact check first before they spread it again. This is effective because people are actually being emotional when they read this narrative or claim. Specifically, when they're angry, they're afraid, or even the combination of anger and fear. The fact is that vaccines are made by several techniques. One of them is by weakened virus, and the reference is coming from authoritative and valid sources. The left one is from the WebMD, and the right one is from the NCBIPMC. I'm using the Google Translate to translate the original article in English to Indonesian language. The next type of the seven types of misinformation with disinformation by first draft is the imposter content. This is when the genuine sources are impersonated. This was distributing a few years ago. It looks like screen capture screenshot from an article from CNN International. It is saying that congratulations, sir, you are famous overseas. The picture is the picture of Jokowi or Jokowi Dodo. He's the president of Indonesia. Now, if you observe the logo, you observe the article layout and the language format, you can clearly see that this is coming from a different language, but translated in English. That's why it looks so, messed up, so improper. And the layout of the article, this is not the standard layout of an article by CNN International or any other proper or authoritative or valid media. The fact is, this is how CNN original page or site look like. So if the previous fake logo is this is red with white background, the original CNN logo is actually white with red background. So if you observe the logo and the layout of the original CNN International, then you can easily understand that that was it was a fake CNN site. The next type, the fabricated content, the new content, which is 100% false, made to deceive and do harm. This was distributed in Indonesia in a lot of WhatsApp group. I even received this from my friends. It's basically quote unquote imported because the original language is coming from outside of Indonesia using English. So it's saying that the baby is born blind and $200,000 is needed for her treatment so she can see again. You don't have to donate a penny, but WhatsApp is raising the fund each time the picture is shared. Please share. The fact is this is 100% false because it's already fact checked by Hoaxslayer. And also WhatsApp FAQ already explained that be careful with hoax messages. WhatsApp does not providing money or donation using that mechanism. The problem again, we're talking about emotional responses. This is triggering emotional response by using the photo of a mother and a baby, and then people who are feeling compassionate, feeling sad, and feeling concerned with the picture easily will reshare the picture to their friend and family, and because no matter how irrational the claim, people are being driven to be emotional, so they'll just share it right away. And for the other example, I'll be translating it to English, and then you'll be able to read it yourself in the presentation later. I'll provide the link to this presentation. But let's move on to tools and verification steps, and also I'll be explaining it using example cases to make this easier to understand. Again, usually it's easier and better way to understand this because using example cases is a way of to deconstruct or reverse the fact checking steps or the process. The first tools, it's the archive tools. This is maybe not as interesting as other tools that I will be presenting later, but this is actually crucial. Crucial. This is actually important because this is actually a better way of securing evidence, securing proof. If you compare it to screenshots, then there are likely those who accuse you of, you're faking, you're making a screenshot using Photoshop. But using archive is actually better because this is not screenshot. This is a copy of the original URL or web link. The most widely known is the web.archive.org. There are also other alternatives like this one. This is the archive.today, which is accessible using the URL of archive.md, archive.fo, archive.vn, and etc. And also archive.today is actually they have quite a lot of URL that you can access. Also, archive.st. This is also usable, another alternative to web.archive. And unfortunately, it is paid. It is non-free, unlike the other previous archive tools. Perma.cc. Perma.cc is good. It actually reliable because normally for a website or tools that is paid, they have to be professional if you compare it to the free versions. Because again, this is subscription. You actually pay for the service. They provide it professionally. The second tools would be image verification or the image search. Now, again, the reason of using image for misinformation is because visuals are more engaging. A lot of time when people see correct in terms of it's not doctored, it is not Photoshop, it is original. People actually believe it. I mean, they believe it because it's original. They forgot to check that the misinformation is actually coming from the claim or the narrative. They're twisting the context. They're falsifying. They're lying on the context. This is one of our article example. This one is published by Indonesia media, Gelora News. It it using a picture of airplane loading cargoes using the title that China reported silently cremating coronavirus victims because the number is increasing. Uh, the question would be, what's wrong with the picture? This is coming from Associated Press. It's from AP. It is a reputable source. The problem is that this article does not provide picture description or whether it actually explained that this is an illustration picture. It gets worse after the URL or the link of the article is reshared using certain narrative or claim like this one. China is cremating corpses secretly because the number of corona patients soared beyond 7,000. The virus infected more people compared to SARS, and then many corpses directly sent to cremation centers unidentified, which means there are those who died caused by the virus. William Abel. Now, when they see this type of what do you call narrative or claim, and then they see the picture of boxes being loaded into plane, the audience will actually think that what is it directly sent, then those boxes must be for transporting ashes. But the fact is, uh, we can actually start by checking this using image verification. It can be as easy as doing right click on an image, but this is something that likely you already know because uh, it's a built-in feature by Google Chrome browser. But again, do note the terms and condition asterisk sign. There are websites, there are pages that does not allow right clicking on a photo, so it's not always as easy as doing the right click and doing image search. Another tools, this might help you on fact checking to be more practical. It's the Refi reverse image search Google Chrome extension, which will enable you whenever you see an image that can be right click, you'll have this menu. This is a Refi image search which provide five image search engines at once. So after you're using the image source tools, when you find the image source, is there all mission accomplished, case closed, and then we can move on with our life maybe. Unfortunately, that's not the case. uh, you still need to find the valid sources to provide the correct context. Again, the picture is the photo or the image is original, it's not edited, it's not Photoshop, but the context is incorrect. So therefore, you still need to find the valid sources to provide the correct context, because as you see in the example here, there are those pages who actually using the picture without providing the correct context. Now, after searching for several sites, this is one of the picture that has proper description and coming from authoritative source. The correct context is about logistic delivery caused by the lockdown. It is not related to any transportation of ashes which coming from cremation centers. And of course, you can always use classic image search by taking a screenshot or download the image and then upload it using image search sites. Some of them are Google Image. This is the most popular. But also, it's not just by clicking on the camera icon. Usually, you can actually do drag and click, drag and drop to the sites. This is Google Image. Again, this is the most popular. And also, this is Yandex Image. This is from Russia. And if you trying to search from content from Chinese pages, Baidu Image is actually one of the best search engine that you can use. Assuming, of course, you can speak Chinese language, because the language is using China, using Chinese, I mean. The third tool, the video verification or the video search. Again, the reason of using video for misinformation is closely like picture. Video also provide visual, which is also like picture. It is more engaging. The difference would be picture is a still photo, the video is a motion video. And just like picture, there are unfortunately those who still can be misled using correct videos, but the claim, the description, the narrative that come with the video is actually creating false context. Again, this is from 5W One aspects. The basic of how video verification work is not much different from image verification. We're searching a video using its thumbnails. Using thumbnails, we're hoping that we will be able to find a match or similar video. Another tool, this is the fake news debunker by Infit and We Verify. It's also a Chrome extension, just like the previous one. Infit is actually help us to search for similar images using keyframes. Now we can start with the image magnifier. When we see a thumbnail from a certain source, in this case, I'm using Twitter for example. This image magnifier will provide us access to image search engine and image forensic tool. As you can see below the image magnifying, you will see several options. You can download it. You can use Google Image, Baidu Image, and other reverse image verification sites. Now the question is, what if the search result also misinformation instead of or what we expect videos that provide correct context or coming from valid sources? It actually happened because at that time when I'm searching for the video sources, there I actually found other sources who's using the same false narrative. It's saying that like this one, for example, COVID-19 second wave in India, and then they provide the same video, and the claim is saying that this is second wave in India, and this is the current condition, and this is the video. Yeah, sometimes it happen because the video is edited. So instead of we find the correct video by relying the thumbnail, when a video is being edited, obviously the thumbnail will change, which will lead us to non-authoritative or non-credible sources like this one, these three sites in the example screenshot. No need to worry because there are still other ways. Now, the reason of fact-checking video took longer because we actually have to watch the whole video. The reason is because watching the whole video is actually part of video verification process. We're hoping that there are frames, there are clues that we can search in the video, so we can use it for doing verifications. Fortunately, this is just a 2-minute 90 seconds video, but since we have to watch the whole video, let's check the video first. Hang on, is my sound? Let me share my sound. Okay, hang on, let me play it. Let's just pause it from now and continue. So based on the video, again, verification does not necessarily have to rely on tools only, but sometimes it takes our creativity. Actually, it's not sometimes. Most of the times, it requires our creativity, requires our curiosity, and also uh, require us to follow the news. Now, since we are not exactly able to find a lot of clues using other technique, uh, we have to combine it using other technique, like for example, using keyword search. The question is, where does the keyword India gas leak coming from? Again, this is one of the reason why we are required to watch the whole video, but that's just an example. So on this session, we not exactly have to watch the whole video, but by watching the whole video, we can actually get the spoken language and also physical appearances of the people inside the video. And the keyword India gas leak is actually coming from, the social media and the news sites, because when the gas leak incident happened, it's quite all over the news, and people are sharing it in social media, including the closed type of social media like WhatsApp and Telegram. So using that keyword, and these are the results of the searching using India gas leak keyword. Some are actually coming from reputable sources, like this one is coming from AFP, this one is coming from Guardian, and YouTube also provide several sources. But again, we have to combine several techniques using image search, using thumbnail search, using keyword search, and since we are looking for video sources, obviously we can try to go to video sharing sites such as YouTube to search for video. And then when at that time I was searching for the video sources, this one actually looks familiar. Now the next step that the fact checker must do is to find the similar frame to show it in the fact check article, because it makes it easier for the audience to uh, to understand the fact check article, instead of providing just text or video link for the audience to play themselves, because usually there are those who still asking, no, this is a different video, the scene or the frame that being included in your screenshot doesn't show the exactly the same. Some of the readers are actually doing that. I encountered with them several times. So if you illustrate it, if you're describing it, you can actually find the same video which is already published in 2020, but this frame started from this thumbnail. When people haven't played this video, you'll be able to find this frame after you play the video for 6 seconds. So this is not exact. These videos are different on its, what do you call it? They have different duration. uh, this uh, the video spread it in the Twitter is actually 6 seconds shorter compared to the video that is already previously distributed in YouTube. The fact is, the video is already circulated in 2020, as you can see in the publication date. And the narrative, this is saying that it is published in 2021. So back then in India, they have a surge of case, or thousands of cases in one day. Therefore, some people are actually trying to mislead others by saying that people, uh, COVID positive people are they are lying on the street because the India uh, case is so worse. But the fact is, again, the video already distributed in the internet. One of them is in YouTube in 2020. Again, this is from 5W1. It's one of the aspect would be from when we can actually use that as the way to make a fact check article. The fourth tools is the location verification or geolocation. Okay, looks like it's been almost an hour. So what do you say we take a break? Maybe 5, 10, or 15 minutes? What do you think, Aaron, Tiana? Should we take a break or just continue?
What works for you better?
Yeah, so how long would you like to take a break?
Is everybody fine with 10 minutes?
Yeah, Anna is nodding. Okay, let's take a 10 minutes breaks and then we'll have some coffee or stretching our body to instead of just sitting down.
If you need more, I don't know, that's up to you to decide.
Okay, 15 minutes then.
Okay,
I'll see you
then
in
see
15
you
minutes.
at uh, Armenian and Georgian time, 12:15.
Okay, that would be 3:15 in
This was
Jakarta,
for
Indonesia time.
participants. Yeah, see you in 15 minutes.
Thank you. See you.
Great, then see you in 15 minutes.
Okay, shall we continue? So is everyone already fresh, drinking some coffee and get something to drink? Because I've drink coffee since the beginning of the session. Okay, let's continue. Share screen. The fourth tools, the location verification or geolocation. But before we continue, I have to warn you that normally people before they start, they think that, and also this is also my personal experience. Usually, those who haven't started doing location verification. Oh, hang on. I thought I was muted. Hang on. I forgot. I thought I was muted. Let's reshare the screen. Uh, okay. Again, usually for those who haven't started, and this is also based on my personal experience, we're usually thinking that location verification is difficult. But I have to warn you, when you already able to solve one case, usually you'll be addicted because even though location verification is personally, I think, the most difficult type of fact checking, this is actually the most challenging. Therefore, whenever people when try to do it once and able to crack a case, then usually you'll be wanting more. Location verification usually it's needed for fact checking, which involve misinformation related to location. Usually, if it's using location as a material for spreading false information. The tools, again, this is something that has become the most popular. Also, likely you already know. Uh, there are those who also outside of fact checker using Google Maps for daily purpose, including myself for driving. Google Maps, as you know, there are those who's using Waze and there are others who's using Google Maps. I'm actually one of those who's daily using Google Maps when I'm driving. But something that Google Maps also offer is the Street View feature and also the Google Earth. Other maps, some of them, we have Bing Maps. Bing Maps is by Microsoft. We also have Yandex Maps, which is Russian, also by Dumap, which is Chinese. Each have their own characteristics. Like, for example, they have their characteristic of different type of coverage or even better detail on certain areas. Like, for example, if we're talking about countries in around Russia, obviously Yandex will be able to provide better better coverage, better detail. And if it's Chinese, usually we will be able to use Baidu for a better detail. Okay, let's take a look at another example case. This video is quite short. It's just 4 seconds actually. Yes, originally this video have audio, but when I'm capture the video, I forgot to turn on the audio capture. Um, Hang on. Okay, again, if you're looking for clues, there actually isn't much because, again, let me get back to the video. This is just a 12-second video, and usually we can actually look for clues by listening to the audio. I would suggest you to use earphone or even headphone for a better or more detail. You can hear the audio. But the problem is, besides of the video is short, It's also in low resolution. Low resolution meaning that you will not be able to find many detail as the higher resolution video. Sometimes the misinformation, those who made the false information are deliberately setting the video to be lower, so fact checkers and journalists will not be able to will not be able to easily fact check it, because low resolution means it's difficult to search for any detail. And the original video, it has sounds, it has audio, but the problem is the sound is dominated by people shouting. They don't actually speak on in the video. Therefore, it is not possible for us to be able to identify the spoken language. The shouting is just hey, hey. So basically, hey is something that everyone in dominated by. I can safely say that most country, even every country, is also saying hey, and also because it's recorded using smartphone, uh, there there really is more noises instead of sounds that we can actually use for fact checking. It's ambient noises like wind, uh, vehicle passing by, and other type of noises. And in this case, because this is during a riot, you'll hear a lot of explosion coming from the tear gas launched by the police officers. Now the question is, what should we do? Uh, Again, unfortunately, video verification is typically require us to watch the entire video. And in this case, we're actually quite lucky because the video duration is not in a few hours. It actually is just 12 seconds. Although in 12 seconds, it's difficult, it's too short for us to be able to use it as to find any clues or detail. But again, there are other situations when we actually face by the length and the duration of the video is up to several hours. That is also another problem because long videos doesn't actually guarantee that when we watch it for, like, for example, an hour or even 2 hour, we'll be able to find any usable clue. So it's kind of like this. We have spent so much time on trying to figuring out trying to find clues in long video, but it actually doesn't guarantee that watching a long video will be able to provide us with any usable clues. uh, I mentioned clues quite a lot, several times. Uh, the clues that we need to look for would be in a video, buildings, which is, for example, we need to look for signage. We need to look the shape or the architecture of the building, and also we need to search for street names, vehicle plate numbers, surrounding environment, etc. Now, if you observe thoroughly, if you pay attention to the detail of the video, when the camera is panning to left and right, when it's looking to left and right, there are actually some usable clues. Let me play the video again so you can try to look for usable clues. So observe when the camera is looking left and right. Again, not much clues. Now, in this case, we received a request from Fact Crescendo, which is also a fact checker organization from India. They are actually one of our friends. Uh, in the article, Fact Crescendo successfully able to identify an Indonesian police truck, but they need more detail. Therefore, they reach to us, to Mavindo. They are asking, is it possible for us to provide geolocation or location verification to make the fact check article stronger? So instead of just providing a photo and that said that this is Indonesian police, describing finding the location is actually has the strongest aspect to the article, because uh, you will be able to tell the audience the exact location of where the video is taken. It's not from India, it's from Indonesia, but again, by just providing Indonesian police track, it doesn't actually giving the exact location of the video when it was recorded. Yes, the article provide fact checking, but again, to make the fact check stronger, we can actually provide location verification or geolocation. Now, several caveats about verifying location. It will be really helpful if we know, or even better, we've been to the location. So there were actually, when I received with other 20 journalists fact-checking classes back then, a few years ago, when we held this Google News Initiative certified trainer, we were basically uh, located in a hotel, quarantined in a hotel for 5 days, but not quarantined because of the pandemic, because of the COVID-19, because it was in before the pandemic. We stayed in a hotel for 5 days, and from the morning to the evening working hour, we were actually studying of Googling, location verification, social audit, and other type of fact checking. We had a quiz by providing picture and asking the audience where's the location, and there was that one trainer when she actually able to answer it within a few seconds. When people ask her, how do you know the location so fast, she just simply said that I was there before. So if we've been to the location, it will be really helpful. Unfortunately, there is not always the case, especially during this pandemic time. Traveling, visiting places are limited. And of course, although I'm Indonesian, I have never been to the city, to the location. And this applies to everyone, wherever they located in whatever country, because, especially during these days, because we are unable to go to another cities, we stay home a lot. And this also included to those who live nearby the area, especially if this is big cities or states. Some people maybe think that since I stay in Jakarta, that means I know every place is in Jakarta. But actually, even though I live in Jakarta since 2007, uh, I'm not. I haven't been able to explore every part of Jakarta. So most of the locations that I explored, there are still more locations that I haven't been. This of course applied to those who stayed in a big cities or states. So, for example, asking someone who's living in uh, big cities like New York or Los Angeles, some are actually thinking that I know you can fact check this because you live there, but that's not always the case, because New York, Jakarta, Los Angeles is actually quite a big city. So the assumption saying that he or she can verify the location because they know they stay in the area, their assumption is that, of course, it's not always right. So if you stay in the same city, it doesn't necessarily means that you know the every part of the city. Uh, Therefore, there are situations when the clues are, it's not necessarily what we will be able to find in the video. Again, this is caused by the lack of knowledge of the exact location. And in order to handle that, we can start by combining using different techniques. So location verification is not strict to using tools for doing location verification, but we also can combine it using other technique also. Either it's using keywords, using image verification, and other type of verification steps. And also, this is the example of keyword usage related to the occurrence of the incident. So Fact Crescendo provide an article that basically it's about kicking back tear gas, since they already said that it happens in Indonesia, and we try to look using the same keyword, kickback tear gas, and we actually find a clue. This is one of the, I think this is the Facebook page. The Facebook name is Redfish. They do said that this is happening in Indonesia, but since it's still using English, then it is unlikely that the page will be able to provide a more detailed clue. Therefore, it is considered as the detail is not enough. Now, we can use another technique, which is by using the language that which is relevant to the location. In this case, we're using Bahasa Indonesia, Indonesian language, the translation of kickback tear gas, which is tendang kembali gas air mata. But this is not strictly related just to English and Indonesia language. This also applied in different languages for your local example, for your local language, for example. So it's not, this example is using English and Bahasa Indonesia, but this applied to every languages. Again, you have to try to be as detailed as possible when you're doing fact checking, because the more detailed keyword will provide you a better search result. In this case, since it's related to a city in Indonesia, located in Indonesia, we're using Indonesian language, Bahasa Indonesia, for the keyword. And as usual, it is standard. Since we are looking for a video, the keyword that we previously used, tendang kembali gas air mata, will provide us this result. But this result can be customized, can be detailed if we're choosing video, since we are searching for video anyway. Now, after scrolling through some articles, some videos, I find that at that time, the site read.id provide the similar video. The thumbnail looks familiar, if you notice from the previous video. And then when I opened the article said that this is a viral video. They name it "A Kick Hurts the Heart," a kick straight to the heart, during a class against omnibus law in Gorontalo. Gorontalo is a city name, therefore it seems like usable. So again, from 5W1 aspect, where Gorontalo actually provide the location aspect. So when we open Google Maps and then type Gorontalo, it actually provide us this result. This is a regency in Sulawesi Island in Indonesia. And then when I scroll down to the article, and then they provide a link to YouTube, it turns out that the video is similar to the video that was shared, distributed in Facebook, claiming that it happened in India. And then continue on scrolling the location, it actually provides a more detailed location of the Gorontalo city, which is it's called Simpang Lima. So using that clue, we type Simpang Lima Gorontalo in Google Maps, and this is the result of the keyword. To provide better view, more detailed view, we can actually try to use Google Street View. The way how to use it would be just click on the this yellow Pac-Man on the right nearly bottom of the screen. And then when the view change to this color, I'll provide, let's go back a little bit. So this is the color of Google Maps, but not in Street View mode. And this is when you click on the yellow Pac-Man. Now, the way how you do it is after you've been able to view on this Google Street View mode, This cyan color is actually meaning that we are lucky because Google Street View car has taken the picture of this area. The way how you try to find the detail would be by clicking any cyan color of the streets near as possible on the location. This is the Simpang 5 Gorontalo. And then next, I was able at that time to get this view. This is one of the branch of the five intersection of the Simpang 5. Simpang 5 means five intersection, five streets collided in single, what do you call it? This is the circular boulevard. And then if you try to look around, zooming in and zoom out, if you need to, this actually, this big unit actually looks familiar. It showed up previously in the video. And then when you look to the left and then move forward, you will have, this is the similar view. Let's try to, this is the screen, and there is the bridge wall. And if you illustrate it, this is the video that this Guru Kota account from India share. This is the exact frame. So this is before the video is being played. And this is also happens to be, they have the same, no, not exactly the same. This is 7 seconds and this is 20 seconds. But they started at the similar frame. So they, when we haven't played back the video, you actually get the same video. This one said that this is in India. This was taken on October 9. Sorry, but not taken. This was shared in October 9. And a day before, the same video is shared in YouTube, claiming that this is in Indonesia, which likely means since this video is published before this video, this was published in October 8, and this is in October 9, normally we can rely on videos that is published before, although it doesn't happen in every case. But in this case, because the video is published earlier, we can kind of hold, we can kind of hoping that the video earlier published is actually is actually the correct, provide the correct context. Also, not just Google Street View, but also this one is using Google Earth. This is to provide another verification aspect that when you have found the video that is published before, and at the same time this video need to be fact checked, we can actually fact check location using Google Maps. In this case, we are able to provide evidence, we are able to provide the location verification, confirming that the video is indeed recorded in Simpang 5 Gorontalo by illustrating it using this picture. So this is the bridge wall, and this is where the video screen located in around the middle of the boulevard. So besides of providing the evidence or the proof saying that this video is published earlier, we can also provide evidence saying that this video is claiming is true, that it is recorded in Gorontalo, and this is the location verification. Later on, I will also provide another location verification by combining the tools that I have presented. This is another location verification example. At that time, there was a Twitter user, the account name is Jamin Junaidi. He said that quietly, without much publication, Jokowi, the President of Republic of Indonesia, already visited Christchurch, New Zealand. So cool, he said that. This was in 2019. The reason why he's publishing this video is because not so long before he shared this video, there was unfortunately a mass shooting happened in the Christchurch city. Now the question would be, what when we see this video, again, this is low resolution. It also quite dark. It's a bit difficult trying to find clues and uh, clues and other aspects that we can use to do fact check and location verification. But we can start by asking ourselves, what should we focus on? What we have to focus on whenever we see a photo or video that, again, that seems to be original, we need to focus on the 5W and 1H aspect, which is explained later. Specifically, if we're doing location verification, we should focus on the where. The claim saying that this video is recorded, this video is taken in Christchurch, New Zealand. That's where. Again, watching the video, we have to search for clues. Let me play the video. This is let me pause the video. I'm putting asterisk marks on the clues. Like previously I have explained, the clues that we need to search for: buildings, plate numbers, and other architecture like signage, flags, everything that we can find. But unfortunately, like what you see right now, the video is not exactly bright and the resolution is also low, so it makes it difficult. But again, watching the video is part of the fact checking steps, fact checking aspects. So therefore, since the video is short anyway, let's just watch the rest of the video.
Ya, tetap mobil gede. Di sana, pakai bendera itu. Pakai bendera itu.
Now, although the video is in low resolution, at the end of the video, you can actually, if you're familiar, of course, let me, hang on. Where's it? Since I'm Indonesian, again, this is not limited to just Indonesia language. I'm using a lot of Indonesia, for example. But if you're coming from the same country, by listening to the audio, and you'll be able to hear chatters, you'll be able to hear people singing in Indonesia language. So this video is actually taken by an Indonesian citizen that live outside. This is an Indonesian that take the video, and this is President Jokowi, by the way. Again, this is the view that you see when you haven't playback the video. Again, this is the resolution and the brightness is so low that initially I was doubting myself whether can I actually fact check this video, because this looks really, there aren't that many details that I can use. There is no signage exactly visible. But this is the view that you see when before you click on the playback. This is the thumbnail. In this case, we are lucky that the thumbnail, the clue is actually there before, even before we play the video. But this type of luckiness, this type of occurrence doesn't actually happen much. Most of the time, you actually have to watch the video search focus. But we are lucky in this case. The clue, although this is not exactly detailed, it's already there even before the video is being played. Now, if you take a look at that, what is it called? Is it the at that time it was the most obvious that I can read is the tinental word. It's blurry because again this is a low resolution video. Now combine tinental with the where aspect, we have a keyword. The narrative said that this is in New Zealand, this is in Christchurch, and then when we combine tinental and New Zealand, we actually have a keyword that we can use. We're using tinental New Zealand in Google Maps, and this is the result that at that time I get. So using this result, it actually looks like tinental, either it's continental or intercontinental. Now we change the keyword to intercontinental New Zealand. Any clues? And this is what we get. The clues actually said that intercontinental New Zealand is located in Wellington City. So that also lead us to another tools, Google Maps. Again, when you open Google search result, you will be able to see several options. You'll see all, you'll see maps, pictures, videos, news, and other option. And then this search result actually have the option for us to be able to open Google Maps. And then when I click it, this is the result that I'm getting. So intercontinental New Zealand is actually located in Wellington. It is not located in Christchurch. So we can safely conclude that the claim is false because there are no intercontinental hotel in New Zealand in Christchurch. The correct location is in Wellington City. Therefore, the claim is false. But if we want to check further, we can actually provide the location verification for the audience, so there will be no doubt in their mind by just reading an article saying that Google Maps finding that there are no intercontinental in Christchurch, it is in Wellington. Location verification will be able to provide the audience so they have a clearer picture that it actually is located in Wellington instead of Christchurch. Again, this is the tools Google Street View. When we click on the yellow Pac-Man on the lower right, the street color will turn to cyan like this. And the way how you do it is by click on the nearest cyan colored street on the location, and then when you're taken to the street view view, what you need to do is to move and look around, and then if you need to, you're doing zoom in and zoom out, circle the area, because this is the intercontinental Wellington and this is the surrounding street. So what you need to do to be able to have the exact same point of view is by circling the street and then looking around, looking left and right, and then zooming in and zooming out. And this is the closest, what do you call it? This is the closest, easiest way to explain the audience of the similar point of view if you compare it to the camera. This is the thumbnail from the Twitter video, if you remember. Although the point of view is slightly different, the video thumbnail is coming from exactly opposite of the hotel. You can actually pinpoint some similarities to the audience to make sure that they are convinced that this is located on the same area. There's the light pole. Again, this is from different point of view because this Google Street View is coming from a further, but I'm playing with the zooming in and zooming out at the time. This is the light pole. You can see the white signage over here. This is similar, but again, if you are looking at the complete light pole, this is the whole light pole, but this is the view that this camera provides. That's the pedestrian crossing, and that is the intercontinental signage. Now, if there's an audience asking that, so where is this video is recorded? It is basically right across this light pole. It's around here. Okay, let's move on to the next tool. This is the language translation tool. Since I'm an Indonesian, most of the time I'm dealing with bahasa Indonesia, translating it to another language like for English or sometimes Arabic or other language. Because basically this is working for any language. Now, if you remember this screenshot from Fact Crescendo article, this is actually the original language of the site. It's in Hindi language. At that time, I was using language translation tool, or it was the Google Translate site to translate from Hindi language to English language. This is working on any language, by the way. Some of the tools of the translation tool. This is the most popular, Google Translate. But also we have another option. Maybe in certain case when you try to translate using this actually happened to me several times. I tried to translate URL website, but I have no idea why Google Translate unable to provide the results. So I switched to at that time I was using Bing Translator. This is actually second most popular translation tool. It is from Microsoft. But of course, if you feel you need other translation tool, they make use of site actually provide 10 best online translator that you can use to help us for fact checking. Sorry. The better way to explain the translation tools is by providing usage example. This was when I was fact checking a case, usage example, by combining all the tools that I've presented earlier to solve a case. I forgot. This was in 2019, I think. One of my friend in a WhatsApp group actually sent the video to this group, saying that this is the video of an assassination attempt of Saudi Arabia Prince today. This is a broadcast image, and in Indonesia, this is people forward this many times. This is the video, by the way. Again, when fact checking a video, make sure you have enough time because you actually watch the video, but this is not, it doesn't take many hours, so let's watch the video. It's just around 1 minute. Again, pay attention to the clues. Is it the plate number or This is just 1 minute, by the way, but there are actually some clues that we are able to pick up. Hang on. So, did you notice any clues, or is it mostly people will focus on this because this is actually quite funny? There during the almost video finish, one of the girl is actually having problem trying to getting back into the car. When the driver opened the car, he actually already jumped and he kicked the side view mirror. You know, I mean, you can actually hear in the video people are laughing at him. Uh, but again, this is what mostly people will pick up because it's quite funny. Or is it? Did you focus on also on the vehicle plate number? Because this is can be also we can use for a clue. Did you also notice that we have a clue from buildings, from structures? We are also have we can actually focus on the poles and the signage, or the fact that no one is panicking. Some even recording using their phone. It is likely that everyone is familiar with assassinations video, like the most at least in my generation, the most famous assassination video would be the assassination of JFK. That is when he passes using the car and he was actually getting shot in the head. But in this video, this is really something that everyone easily conclude that no one is panicking. Some even recording using their phone. Basically, this is not a typical reaction of if this incident is actually an assassination attempt, which is true that no one is panicking. Some are even recording using their phone, and nearing the end of the video, you actually able to hear people laughing at the guard who's having problem on trying to getting back to the car, although the door is already opened by the driver. Which is correct that it was a stage. But unfortunately, our opinions, everyone's opinion, it is not authoritative enough for us to use it as a reference to put the reference in a fact check article. We need to find other ways to fact check this video. Sorry. Again, we can start with the thumbnail, pause the video, make or take the screenshot, and you can upload to image search. In this example, I'm using the most popular image verification, reverse image search, Google image search. You can actually click on the camera icon, or you can use the image that you take screenshot previously, click it, drag it, and then drop it in Google image search. Or as an alternative, this actually quite helping. So we don't have to take the screenshot manually. We can use the Invit, the Google extension, to help us on making the process more effective and doing this more automatically. Instead of we're pausing the video and take the screenshot, we can open the video using a new tab or a new window and inside a Google Chrome. Why Google Chrome? Because this extension is only working using Google Chrome. Therefore, we have to open the video using Google Chrome. And then don't play the video, or if you already play it, just press on the pause and then right click on the video, and then Invit will provide you with the utility or menu. Click on the open with assistant. Now, in this case, since the video is coming from WhatsApp, the easiest way would be using WhatsApp web. So when you receive the video in WhatsApp, just download it using WhatsApp web. Otherwise, you actually have to download the video in your phone, upload it in Google Drive, and then download it again to your computer, and then open it using Google Chrome. So in this case, we're actually quite practical. We're actually quite lucky because we can use the WhatsApp web to just not doing the uploading and downloading the video to Google Drive. So after we click open with the system, this is what we'll have. InFeed will open this new tab, and then you need to proceed with clicking the local file, and then click on the video tool. Specifically, you need to click on the keyframes, and after that, instead of selecting the link, since the video is already downloaded in your computer, select file, and then click on the upload file, and continue by selecting the file and click on the submit. And last but not least, wait for the upload process to complete. This depends on the type of the connection that you have. If you have a high-speed connection or not so high-speed, but it's working on normal connection, then this will take just a few minutes. But if your connection is not good, or if the video is big, usually this will take longer time. After waiting for the upload, this is what you get. So instead of pausing the video and take the screenshot and doing manually, InFeed will be able to help you on fragmenting, on splicing the keyframes of the video. So you can, when you have the result of the splicing of the finding the keyframe by the InFeed, you can just right click on the image, and then again using Refi, you can even do if you click on the all search engine, then Chrome will open a new how many it is, 1 2 3 4. Chrome will open a new 4 tabs which provide you image verification, image search from Google, from Bing, from Yandex, and also from P9. This is one of the results from Google image search. Google is actually able to identify using thumbnail on several websites which use the same video, but unfortunately, these sites are also their narrative, their claim is actually also another misinformation. I mean, we can clearly previously we know that this is not an assassination attempt. This is just this is staged, but unfortunately, the sites that we find, it actually provide the same misinformation. So because we're fact checking video, again, whenever you're fact checking video, also try to search on the video sharing sites such as YouTube. We're using the same keyword, Saudi prince assassination attempt, and this is what I get. I think this was in 2020 last year, but if you try to use the same keyword right now, depends on your browser, depends on the algorithm of YouTube. It is unlikely you'll be able to see the same search result, but at that time, this is what I've seen in my browser. The first video actually looks familiar. I mean, this is the same thumbnail, I think. So when we actually click it, it actually is it's the same video. Now the problem is the narrative is also false. The uploader saying that this is by using the same the same claim. This is an attempted assassination of the Saudi Crown Prince Riyadh, and then so on. Another way is by not just looking at the narrative of the video uploader, but there are actually those who provide clues in the comments. Some of them are, this is Angela Watson saying that it's a training exercise. And then this is somebody that uses Arabic language as the name account, saying that this is a training in Kuwait. Please change the title. So from these comments, we were actually able to get aspect from the 5W and 1H. This is what, and Kuwait is where. But unfortunately, again, opinions, comments, and assumptions are not authoritative. We can use it, but there will be audience likely. There will be our readers audience who's saying that your article is not strong enough because you are not because you are you're using opinions and assumptions without any without providing any strong base. It's not authoritative. We can actually use the comments, which is training exercise and Kuwait for clue. So we're using it as a keyword. We're using Kuwait security guard training exercise. This is the result that we get. And it looks like it's not exactly usable because even the image doesn't provide the same thumbnail like the video. Now, what if we try to click on the news site? Because we are searching for authoritative sources anyway, and in Google actually provide everyone a news tab. News is usually coming from authoritative or valid sources, usually from credible media. So this is the at that time the search result by clicking on the news. This is the result that provided. Unfortunately, it's still not usable. Again, location. The previous commenter said that this happened in Kuwait. So just like the previous example, when the claim said that the video happened in Indonesia, this time it happened in Kuwait. So obviously, we should try to switch the language to Arabic. Another tools, I'm using Google Translate. I'm translating from, at that time I forgot to click English, but Google automatically translated from English to Arabic. And this is the result. Now we can actually copy this translation result and use it as a keyword. And when I use this keyword, I get this as result. That thumbnail look familiar. So let's open it. And then when I click on that site, it leads me to a Twitter account. This is coming from Al Haddad. And after this is also, please do note that this translation, it said that translated from Arabic by Google. This is Twitter's built-in Google Translate. Please note that this translated language depends on your language account setting. So if you have Twitter account and then you set the translated language to another language, to your local language, maybe for me, if I set my account to use Bahasa Indonesia, then the translation will automatically in Bahasa Indonesia, Indonesian language. But for me, since I'm using my account using English language, this is what I get, automatic translation. And when I play the video again, this is a video. So when you click on the play button, sorry, I click at the play button. After 10 seconds, there is actually a usable clue that I can use. This is actually recorded from different angle, but if you remember the red SUV, the funny one, this is the red SUV is the car that the guard is having trouble to open the door. The driver already unlocked the door, but the guard is actually jump on getting in the car. But you can actually get this view after you play, and then after 10 seconds, you'll get the view. This red SUV is actually in the same car. So, the fact is, according to Al Haddad News, this is a mock military parade performed on the Gulf Defense and Aviation Exhibition in Kuwait International Fair, or KIF. The question is, again, we are looking for authoritative sources. The question is Al Haddad News considered as authoritative source? At that time, I tried to just type Al Haddad in Google Chrome, and then I come across this explanation in Wikipedia, and then one of the URL or link in Wikipedia actually provide the link to alhaddad.net. This is when Google Translate Chrome extension took part, because I'm not exactly fluent in Arabic, including reading Arabic. So I'm using the tool to translate from Al Haddad. This is official. This is their official site, by the way, translating their site to English language. So this is what I get. This is the view that I get. But again, it's working on certain aspect only. So this is basically translating only text. Images are not yet supported. And this is the original language, the view in original language. So this is authoritative. So yeah, mission accomplished. According to Al Haddad, again, Al Haddad said that this is mock military parade. So basically, we can safely say that mission accomplished, case closed. But what if you want to make your fact check article stronger? Because this actually involves location. Again, Al Haddad mentioned that this took place in Kuwait International Fair. If you want to make your fact check article stronger, then obviously the best way to provide it is by just provide the audience with the result of your location verification. Let's try to verify the location then. So previously, you were provided with the clues of Kuwait International Fair, but when I open the Google Maps and type Kuwait International Fair, I have no idea why. I have no clue. Why is it that Google took me to Yemen, to Sana'a, instead of to Kuwait? I have no idea why. But when I type Kuwait International Fair Kuwait, Google Maps actually took me to Kuwait, and based on the location that they display on the left, several location, we can safely say that Google actually this time provide us with the correct location. So instead of taking us to Sana'a, Yemen, this actually take us to Kuwait. And after I switch to satellite view, so basically this is the map view and this is the satellite view. When I switch to satellite view and then I switch from 2D to 3D and then play with the zoom in and zoom out of the several location. So basically at that time I go one by one to the location on the list. And after doing that, the result actually the best view is coming from a premise location, which is a coffee shop. The name is Aribowo Coffee. This one. Now, the reason why Aribowo Coffee is important because Aribowo Coffee is actually located near the previously keyword. Remember that Al Haddad provided us with the keyword Kuwait International Fair. Aribowo Coffee is located in Kuwait International Fair. Now the question is, how is it that we will be able to provide the audience with the details as much as possible to convince them? There is another important clue in this map. That would be the McDonald's drive-thru. So how is that related to the Aribowo Coffee, since it's different place anyway? It is located in near Kuwait International Fair, but we can actually, if you remember this keyframe from the video, notice the McDonald's logo. Yeah, both Kuwait International Fair and McDonald's logo are located near or next to KIF, Kuwait International Fair. Now, if you describe it using the easier way for the audience to be able to understand, this is one of the way how you do it. That's the McDonald's logo. So the right one, this is coming from Google Earth. This is from the thumbnail of the video. Both coming from more or less the similar point of view. So although this is from the top, but if you pull down the view, then from on the right and the left side, this is coming from the same angle. This is the McDonald's logo, and Google Satellite provide us with a view of McDonald's drive-thru. And if you see that circular, there is the center of the circular driveway, and that small blue color on the Google Earth is actually displayed by the thumbnail of the video. It actually is the same blue globe. Or if you draw and connect the image with the map, this is another way of trying to convince the audience is by, this is how I usually do it, by connecting from different aspect, trying to explain to the audience that this is how I see it. So hopefully you as the audience also will be able to see it. Aribowo Coffee, by finding Aribowo Coffee in Kuwait International Fair, it actually took me to this Google Earth view. But the real reason why this Google Earth view is providing the same view to the audience is because I was able to find McDonald's drive-thru on the thumbnail, and this is the location of the McDonald's. And this blue globe is actually on the center of the circular drive-thru in Kuwait International Fair. Another tips. Unfortunately,
I'm sorry to interrupt,
Yep.
but before going to the other topic, I'm afraid we haven't given a chance to our participants to talk for a while, and maybe they have questions.
Okay. I'll just stop sharing for a while.
Guys, do you have any questions? Is everything clear, or you would like to clarify something? Any thoughts to express? Yeah, Shani, please.
Hello, everyone. Thank you for this opportunity to know a little bit more about fact checking. I don't have any questions yet. I just wanted to add that as I have been working as a journalist for many years, it was not new, something very interesting, but I used to use this kind of tools. But also it was interesting to know that how misinformation is, and it's so much familiar in any countries, I guess, like in Armenia. So it was very interesting to know these cases and to be able to know how to deal with this kind of misinformation. So I just want to say thank you, and it is very interesting, and that's it.
Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you, Shani.
Yeah.
You too. Any other thoughts? Yeah, then I'm sorry for the interruption.
Well, actually, I was expecting since since a few hours ago. Yes, I can safely say that misinformation or popular as fake news globally or in Indonesia, it is really popular for people to just call it by hoax. Although hoax supposed to mean for other specific type of misinformation. I can safely say that everyone is on the same boat. This has become a global problem. The most obvious indication would be infodemic related to COVID-19. As you see previously on the example, the COVID was spreaded by the 5G, and the latest version, the variation of that misinformation would be if you get the vaccination shot, then vaccination contains magnetic. The proof would be just put a penny on your skin and then it'll stick. Or there's even another newer type. It's not just 5G, but since the bottle of the vaccine contains certain code that matches with the code with your Bluetooth, then do not get vaccination because you will be able to connect to Bluetooth without using your smartphone. There are a lot of misinformation that no matter how outrageous, no matter how doesn't make sense, because it triggers people emotional reaction, then people will believe it right away. There are actually also some version of very popular misinformation translated in many language and spread in uh, it's not just Facebook, it is also Twitter, it is also in TikTok, it is also spread in close WhatsApp group like WhatsApp and Telegram. Like for example, about the vaccination, there was actually a version that attacks the majority of Christian religion. The same picture. This is the picture of an implant, a health implant. It's basically an X-ray of a hand, but there's a capsule in it. So a lot are there's a version of misinformation saying that do not get vaccinated because when you're vaccinated, this chip will be inserted inside your body. For those who are targeted to Christian dominated countries or cities, it's using the narrative saying that if you get that shot, then when you die, you will not be able to meet Jesus in heaven because in your forehead there will be triple six number 666. There's the sign of the devil. Then when you die, you will not be able to meet with to Jesus to heaven. But in another country which dominated by Muslim like Indonesia, the narrative actually changed. I mean, do not fall, do not become the victim, do not become the slave of the Jewish, for example, because when you are vaccinated, then the blood of Jewish will enter your body, or that kind of outrageous narrative. So basically, similar pictures are able to be distributed to different languages with different claim. This is something that everyone and every part of the world will have to deal with because like I previously mentioned, a picture speaks thousands of words, depends on the narrative that you are going to uh, frame it. Thank you. Shall we continue with the slide? And then for the rest of we still have like what 37 minutes, right? We can continue with the discussion. Okay, let me check on the. Thank you. Okay, let me continue with the share. Where's my slide? Okay, a few more tips. Unfortunately, it's not like when we see the movies where usually silver bullets are related either to vampires or werewolf. Usually in movies, uh, the easiest way to kill werewolf, the easiest way to kill a vampire is by just use silver bullets. Unfortunately, this is not the same situation with fact checking. There are no silver bullets. So, like I previously mentioned earlier, location verification doesn't necessarily will be able to be solved only by using maps. Video verification and image verification is not necessarily you have to use image search or other type of tools. Fact check is an art. It's quite abstract actually. The limit is your imagination. So there isn't any single answer on using tools for a specific type of misinformation or fact checking. You actually have to combine it. You actually have to use your imagination and being persistent on combining the technique. And please do note that it might be interesting. It might be, sometimes you feel like I have to right away make the fact check article so the misinformation is not going viral. Usually, when we do that, we are searching for so many clues that we actually forgot the first step that we had to take is by securing the evidence, secure the proof. Make the screenshot and make the archive first before you continue on uh, the next step of your verification steps, because there were actually it happened to me once or maybe twice. I was so caught up in searching for finding clues that I actually forgot to secure the evidence. So by the time when I when I compose the fact check article and when I need to take screenshot of the source, the status the post owner actually already delete the at that time I was able to find a Facebook status. So the problem is my browser is reloading the post and then the post is already gone. So again, it is important that you take the screenshot and then make the archive first before you continue to the next steps. Make sure you're not too caught up on doing the fact check, following the lead, searching for references and clues, so you forget to secure the evidence. Otherwise, you'll be lucky if you find another source that you can include in your article. But there are actually incident or occurrence when, for me at that time, my article is already composed and ready to publish, but since I forgot to make the I forgot to make the archive and I forgot to take the screenshot because I was too caught up and searching clues and references. I actually forgot. So the conclusion. So at that time, I was actually have to searching another result, and since I was unable to find another source, I have to cancel my article because there's no source. Since I forgot to secure it first. And this is a classic problem actually, speed versus accuracy. Unfortunately, you cannot have both. You have to choose either one. You cannot have both because it takes more time to be accurate. I'm describing this, somebody's aiming and shooting an arrow compared to speedy train. But even this train can actually be fast and accurate before they are building the track with high accuracy. So this train will not be able to run fast without without the slow process of people building the track. So basically, you cannot have both. This is a classic issue. You have to choose one. If you fast, then you will not be able to be too accurate, but it takes more time if you need to be accurate. So this is usually competition between media, fact checkers and reporter, that who is it that will be able to publish the fact check article first. But again, you have to choose either one. You cannot have both unless if you're Hawkeye. Hawkeye is actually able to do both. He's actually able to be accurate and fast. But again, Hawkeye is this is a fictional character. And about the term fake news, this is something that has been globally popular, quite much like how the term of hoax in Indonesia become popular. Uh, Fake news is actually doing great harm to media and journalists because this Mr. White here, Mr. Donald Trump, this is actually the guy that made the term really popular. At that time, he was angry with, I think it was CNN. He was angry with the question asked by the CNN journalist. And then when he's angry, he pointed to that journalist by saying, "No, you're fake news." At that time, the search for Google Trend searching, it actually the whole world, a lot of people are searching for the term of fake news, and then suddenly, not long after, this actually become the popular term to a lot of countries. But in Indonesia, the popular term is still hoax, and UNESCO actually already made a suggestion. They also made a manual book saying that, look, guys, let's stop calling disinformation as fake news because it actually is doing great harm to journalists and language. But again, it's going to take some time for people to get used to it. Even in Indonesia, the term hoax is still so popular that it's difficult for journalists to fact checkers to ask everyone to call it disinformation instead. It's going to take time. And this is my last slide. Thank you. I'm Aribowo Sasmito, co-founder and fact check specialist of Mavindo. I'll be providing the link to my slide later, so you can just click on it and then the rest of the session, let's use it for if there's any discussion or question, we can do it now. Thank you.
Thank you too.
Thank you so much.
Thank you very much, you two and everyone. So, any thoughts and questions? Shoshonic, is that a new raised hand or the old one?
It's the new. I just wanted to say that it was something new for me to hear this COVID vaccination fake news about, if you do it, you will not go to heaven. As you know, Armenia is a Christian nation, but somehow we don't have that much, worries about this. Instead of we have we don't know, like people mostly don't get vaccination because they don't trust this liquid, how it will affect their body, their health, and so on. So it was really something new. And also I wanted to add something about this coin stuff. When I was in Poland, we had a trainer. She told us that when she get her vaccination, one of her friends went to her house and asked her whether he could put a coin on her arm in order to see if it works or not. So yeah, it's something typical for many countries. And yeah, it's a lot of misinformation and fake news about COVID-19 and about vaccination, also in Armenia too. So I just wanted to add this, and yeah, that's it. No questions, still no questions.
Thank you very much. Arsha Lustian, please.
I just want to answer Shoshanik. To tell the truth, we have the fake news about COVID that is connected to religion. I heard a far-right media outlet which confirmed that if you get vaccinated, or in general, this COVID is created to kill the Christian genes, the religious genes we have. Yeah, and this is like a secret plan, and yeah, they were making these claims, and that was like surprised, but it is not that widespread. And I have a question to the trainer. I just want to know which tools you use to monitor the content. Maybe some social media accounts, or you create a list of social media accounts to follow, or you have some tools like CrowdTangle. What is it?
Yeah, it's coming from multiple sources actually. Previously, when Mavindo, the anti-hoax community that I'm working in, when we have only a little follower, we depend on our own or fact checkers social media accounts, even our family WhatsApp group. That's when the hit usually happen. Our uncle and aunties or even our own parents usually spreading false information. Don't worry, it doesn't happen to just certain countries, but every country, single generation are, since they are the digital migrant, they are actually part of the problem. I mean, we try to correct them and they're angry because they feel I was born first before you, so I know more than you. It happens in every country. So we when our followers wasn't as much as today, we depend on mostly in our social media accounts and WhatsApp and other sources, Telegram maybe. We monitor it like in the morning or maybe later. Sometimes the Facebook feed actually takes us to the false information that is shared by our friends. But later on, we are using mostly uh, waiting. Well, not exactly waiting. We are mostly depending because the number of the reports are already quite overwhelming because our followers has been significantly rising. So these days we mostly depend on reports, whether it's mentioned or DMs from our followers. But again, our social media accounts are still sometimes showing up false information, but most of the sources that we get, we're getting it from reports from our followers, from our Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and other social media accounts. But we also use TweetDeck, not much of a crowd angle because TweetDeck is we're more familiar, but sometimes we don't use crowd angle so much, just sometimes.
Thank you. Any other comments? So for those who haven't noticed, there is a link to the slide in the chat, so you can have it in case you need it further. And Mr. Aribowo says that the download, the PDF will be available tomorrow, right? Yeah.
I will send slides in WhatsApp group as well. May I, Aribowo?
Yes, absolutely.
Thank you.
I forgot to also include it in WhatsApp group.
Thank you.
Ala, should we wrap up for today?
So how many days have you guys doing this?
This is the third meeting, the second
Okay.
weekend.
But it's between weekends, right? It's not straight, like previously, like I mentioned, it's the whole 5 days stayed in a hotel, being quarantined. That's really exhausting. Maybe someday if you guys are building, trainers for trainer, that's how you do it. Just gather the journalists from certain countries, maybe 10, maybe 20, put them in a hotel, and then just have them doing the verification from the morning to the afternoon during working hour. And that was when usually people will be relieved when after the trainer saying that let's take a coffee break. So a lot of people usually, I'm so tired of the whole day. So again, thank you for the opportunity. Hopefully we can meet again in another session in person.
Thank you very much. Thank you for
Thank you.
useful and interesting session. Thank you all participants for joining us.
Should we take group photos? Okay, I'll take the photo and send it in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah.
Okay.
Is there anyone who doesn't want a photo or wants the camera on? See faces, nice.
Okay, I'll do the countdown.
Yeah, more people are joining. Great.
Wow, nice to finally see you guys all.
Nice to see everyone.
I'll send it in the
Thank
WhatsApp
you.
group a few
We
minutes
should have
later.
started the session with the group picture. That was great.
Yeah,
Let's do that
definitely.
Yeah, that
tomorrow.
actually is true, On every Zoom, the most important is this photo group session, no matter what meeting it is. Okay, I'll do the countdown. Put on your best smiles. 3, 2, 1. I'll send it in the WhatsApp group right away. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you too.
Thank
So
you.
tomorrow we'll have another trainer, although
Yes.
we're going to speak in the frame of the same topic. So hope to see you all at 11 o'clock again. And if there is something we can assist, just write in the chat. Is everyone in the chat? Is there someone who is not in the chat? Yeah, great. Allah, that's it, I guess.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. See you tomorrow.
Thank you so
See you tomorrow.
much.
Thank you, everyone. See you tomorrow.